In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Tom Holland's Spider-Man himself opens up on talking about the relationship between himself, Amy Pascal, and Kevin Feige, which also includes all sides of the corporate bureaucracy. Let's just put it that way. So, Sony, Marvel Studios, and Disney, and of course, his agents. And he reveals a little bit more detail in regards to their meetings for Spider-Man 4. So this is what Tom Holland told The Hollywood Reporter when asked about meetings in the future of Spider-Man. And he said he himself, Amy Pascal, and Kevin Feige, including some additional producers and people involved with this whole thing, have had multiple meetings and sit-downs that all unfortunately did stop when the writer's strike happened. Thus, he's confirming the writers of the film, whoever they might be, were in the room. And he says that it was a very big collaborative process in regards to discussing what happens next. He says that the one thing that they're really trying to nail is where does the story take place and why does the story take place there in terms of its placement in the bigger MCU and how they want to tackle the character's arc. And he says that there's also a part of him that looks at the other fourth entries and franchises and realizes that maybe those aren't as good and as well received as some of the other ones. So that's always brought into the conversation in terms of how can they avoid that. Now, again, I see what he's saying. You know, you look at some series that have fourth entries, and certainly they do sometimes end up pretty terrible. Alien 4, for example, is pretty terrible. Matrix 4 is pretty terrible. And that's just two I can think of that automatically come to mind, but there's definitely more. I mean, Thor Love and Thunder is a great example. Batman to Batman and Robin. I mean, what more do you need, right? So there's plenty of this. Superman 4, famously. I mean, my God, 3 was bad, but 4 was even worse somehow. So I get what he's saying. And he did say that he can't reveal much more other than they're just sitting there trying to figure it out, and they hope that they can nail a story that feels authentic to where the character is, which to me tells me they're probably dealing with the bigger picture here. And at some point, you got to deal with the symbiote, which, if you guys remember, way back after No Way Home came out, a couple months after that, he did an interview and he hinted at the fact that we're going to see the piece of the symbiote play into it. Now, whether that's changed or not, who knows, but it's very much a thing they got to get to.